How to become an audio engineer, brought to you by jobsearchchannel.com.
Alright guys, what's going on today? So today we're going to be going over the question of who was Eric Clapton's music producer. Now, I've been learning about music production for about 10 years now, though I'm always learning more. I think it's one of those things that when you get into music, you have to realize pretty quickly that music is ever changing, it's ever evolving, both on the business and on the technology side. And if you want to really stay ahead of the curve and kind of be successful, you'll need to know that you always want to ask questions and you always want to seek out new answers to those questions because you never want to be left behind, right? So I got into music because it's always been a major passion of mine. Although music production wasn't necessarily my focus at first, I really didn't know much about it, to be honest. I started playing as a singer and guitarist in a few different bands here and there, and eventually I kind of figured that I wanted to get in on the music production side, simply because I found it interesting. I went to school, studied music theory, music production, and all that. Eventually got my way out on the other side, where I did a few internships at some studios out here in Los Angeles, where I got some really, really good hands-on experience. And I highly recommend that to anybody who's looking to get into music production, music, mixing or engineering, because having hands-on experience is pretty much the best way, in my opinion, to learn something. I think without it, it's really, really difficult to kind of fully take something on, I eventually got spat out on the other side, where I ended up working at a music production studio out here in LA as a sync writer, music producer, and composer. And that's where I've been full-time for the past 2 years. Now, you may want to know the answer to who is Eric Clapton's music producer because, you're a big fan of Eric Clapton. And let's be honest, Eric Clapton is one of the biggest guitarists of all time. I mean, he is someone that defined playing the blues throughout the 60s, 70s, and even on and on and on. He's been going for many decades now. And if you're a guitarist, I feel like you should know Eric Clapton and should look up to him in some regard because he is absolutely fantastic. Of course, there's someone always behind the scenes doing the work, and because of that, we are going to be talking about Tom Dowd. Now, Tom Dowd, he passed away in 2002, but he was the major producer for Eric Clapton. He started out as an American recording engineer and producer for Atlantic Records, and he's pretty much credited with innovating multi-track recording. I mean, if you're looking at old recordings of blues, jazz, pop, rock, and soul, he's pretty much the who's who of all of these records. I mean, he's worked on so many albums and with so many artists, from Eric Clapton to the Bee Gees to Lynyrd Skynyrd to Rod Stewart, all the way over to Cream, Chicago, Allman Brothers, Joe Bonamassa. I mean, you name it, this guy has pretty much been everywhere. He's actually the credited engineer who popularized the 8-track recording system for commercial music, and also popularized the use of stereophonic sound, which is very, very important. I highly recommend, if you're a big fan of Eric Clapton or a big fan of just music technology history in general, that you check out Tom Dowd, because he is just one of the best around, and there's no doubt about that. Alright guys, that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, please make sure to check the description and hit the link to get in touch with us. Alright, take it easy.